Want to know why Game of Thrones destroyed its own legacy in 6 episodes, while Breaking Bad is still being talked about as one of the greatest finales ever made a decade later? It's not budget, it's not runtime, and it's definitely not the actors, because both shows had fantastic casts. The difference is that one finale understood a single fundamental rule that the other completely ignored, and once you see it, you will never watch an ending the same way again. Here's the rule. A finale is not a plot event, it's a character verdict. Game of Thrones spent its final season resolving plot. Daenerys burns the city, Jon kills Daenerys, Bran becomes king. Done and dusted. But none of it felt earned because the show stopped asking the deeper question, which is, what do these events reveal about who these characters ultimately are? Daenerys went mad in 2 episodes with no real psychological groundwork laid for it because the writers were racing to close plot threads, not complete character arcs, and the audience felt cheated, not because their favorite character died, but because that death didn't feel true to the person they'd spent 8 years watching. Breaking Bad did the opposite in its finale. Walt doesn't just die. He admits to Skyler for the first time that everything he did for himself, not for the family, not to provide for them, for his ego, his pride, his addiction to feeling powerful. And that single line of dialogue is the entire show's thesis, arriving at the exact right moment. Everything in 5 seasons pointed to that admission, and the finale finally let it land. That is a character verdict, the story asking who is this person really, and answering it completely and honestly. So how do you actually write this in practice?
First, go back to your pilot. What did your protagonist want at the very beginning? And more importantly, what did they need? The want is the surface goal. The need is what the story is really about. In Breaking Bad, Walt wants money and security, but what he needs is to feel significant. Your finale must directly confront that need. Either your character gets it, learns to live without it, or destroys themselves chasing it. If your finale doesn't address the core need you opened with, your audience will feel vaguely unsatisfied without quite knowing why. Second, your finale must make the impossible feel inevitable. This sounds like a paradox, but it's the key to great endings. The best finales feel surprising in the moment, but when you look back, you realize the ending could not have gone any other way. The Good Place ends with its characters choosing to cease existing, and it feels completely right because the whole show was about what makes a meaningful life. Your finale should feel like the only honest conclusion to everything that came before. If you can swap your ending with a completely different one and the story still holds, that means your ending isn't truly earned yet. Third, stop saving your best material for sequels. This is the trap that ruins so many finales. Writers hold back thinking there might be another season, another book, another film, and so the ending feels incomplete and hollow. If this is the last story you're telling about these characters, leave nothing on the table. Give them their full moment of truth, even if it means closing every door. The audience would rather have a complete, meaningful ending than an open door to a mediocre continuation.
Fourth, the finale is not the climax. The climax is the big confrontation, the action, the plot peak. But the finale is the quiet aftermath. It's what happens after the gun goes off, after the villain is defeated, after the confession is made. Breaking Bad's actual climax is the gunfight at the Nazi compound. The finale is Walt walking alone through the meth lab, touching the equipment one last time, dying on his own terms. That quiet ending is what destroyed everyone emotionally, not the machine gun sequence. Sixth, you can't ignore everything you've built throughout the series. The main reason Game of Thrones' ending failed is that the last episode didn't make a connection between what came before it and the finale itself. The series built a whole narrative around Jon Snow and how he's the rightful heir of the Iron Throne, just to be completely left out when it mattered. This creates contradiction and false misdirection, which will probably ruin the finale. The hardest thing about writing a finale is resisting the urge to surprise the audience at all costs. Shock endings are the enemy of satisfying conclusions because they prioritize the writer's cleverness over the story's honesty. Your audience doesn't need to be shocked. They need to feel something. They need to close the book or finish the episode and sit in silence for a moment because the story landed exactly where it was always going. The greatest finales in history
Whether it's The Sopranos cutting to black or Breaking Bad giving Walt his verdict, they all share one quality. They are emotionally true to every promise the story made from its very first scene. So when you sit down to write your finale, don't ask what happens next. Ask, who is this person now? And what does that say about everything they've been through? Answer that honestly, and you'll write an ending people remember for years. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.